So the end goal, why do we write books? Why do we do articles? Why do we have teacher training? Why do we sit like this thinking that we can improve what's out there? Why do we share what we've heard? I don't want to be alone. I keep coming back to that. I'm just so tired of going into a new school and being the weirdo with the posters and the pens. And oh, look, it's kindergarten. When are you going to be a real teacher? When is the real learning going to take place here? I'm sort of tired of all that. I mean, at first, I liked being the iconoclast. That's an easy way. I always dress in black, and students, by the second week, have figured out he's the guy to go to. You know, I'm giving away CDs. I'm getting them to put their songs, and they're paying me for the CDs because they want to have the CDs. They want to share it with their friends. It's like the project forces them to talk to the guy from Spain and the guy from Switzerland, have to talk about, well, okay, which song should be next. We both agree on this song, but no, it should be last because it's so good.
That is a great idea for a project.
Oh, right. But then now I've just distracted us. The point is that the why we're doing this is so that I won't be alone. I'll be able to walk into any language school and they'll say, oh, they're doing projects over there. You know, and the project this week for this group is. It'll just be part of, that will be the core. And it'll be understood that out of this project, you'll cover the grammar if it's a language school. There will be Skype connections, you know, and the internet connection is here. It's not something you have to beg for. It's not some. It's required. That's the only reason why they have that facility, because they know that's how you bring in the additional mentors, the additional feedback.
How do you use Skype efficiently, though?
By having a lot of computers. That's the only way. I don't think it's sort of like Skype just turns into another talking professor. I don't think that's the way to do it. I've done some Skype with my friend Jair. You can tell from the video that I've taken that he's got 25 students and some of them are sitting on the wall like this, which is fine, but the only ones that are really interacting are those that are sitting at the machine shouting questions at the other students.
Then why do you use Skype?
Partly, I think, just because it's a novelty, and the students remember that day. And it opens the door because I've held up my email address. So everyone in Jair's classroom has to write to me because I've shown them my email address. I now have their Skype, or sorry, their Facebook or email, because you can find Facebook with their email. That's my students all have to write. I've got this teenager who comes from, her parents don't have a passport, she doesn't have a passport. When are you going to bring in your laptop? Because you promised that I would be able to be on the laptop so I could talk with Pedro. No, she hadn't met Pedro before. All she knows is this guy on the tube there, and he's down somewhere in this place called Brazil. Who knows where that is? But she wants to get his Facebook number. And that's a lot more interesting than anything in the math book. And I think Skype at an elemental level is just another, like we're giving away apples this week or something. It's something that everyone will remember that week when we had Skype. You have to bring in more. You have to have like 3 machines over there and 3 machines here. And in fact, I did one lesson where we had 3 laptops. One was going to China, one was going to Brazil, and I had another one connected somewhere in Europe. And the students had to move around and find out from the previous students what was it he talked about. And so there's reported speech.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, they were writing notes. They were texting on one of them because other guy's microphone wasn't working very well, or he wasn't understanding, so they would type back and forth. Now I've got a record of all of their mistakes, and we were able to peel all that stuff together. Again, the technology classroom is really whatever the students create. Through we've had Swiss who bring in their laptops. I said, good. We're calling 3 different places today. Whatever grammar we're doing, you can look on the internet. I'll post something that'll be our grammar. Whatever I was supposed to do according to the lesson plan. Right. And that goes back to skills. Grabbing the resources in the moment. So the students are watching the teacher as well. Wonderful article. Alison Gopnik. I hate to say this. January 4, 2005. No. Yeah, 2005. So that's, now it's 7 years ago. 2005. Almost 7 years. And what recognition did she get? I mean, maybe that's why I do these books and these videos, because I want people not to have to take the time I did. I was on vacation reading the New York Times magazine. There was an article about the teacher as a coach. That's probably the best way for disseminating information, rather than having some scholarly article, rather than going to give a workshop. It's to get something in the New York Times magazine that one teacher reads, picks up on it, and hopefully shares with his colleagues. And yet, I haven't met any teacher who's ever heard of Alison Gopnik, so my idea is wrong. There must be some way that we could disseminate information so that we're all on the same page. We say, yeah, that's what we should be doing in class.
But then you have to, for what you say to hold up, you have to say that teachers want to change.
Of course not. Yeah, you're right. They don't. Look, we're teaching the way we successfully received information. I understand that. I have to stretch every time, because I know that I learned from Mr. Holbrook. I loved the way he did things. And he would stand up, he'd stand on top of his table, not every day. He would do it about once a month. So you would remember that was the beginning of a new topic. Or,
Right.
It's like there was something that happened then. There was a reason for his antics. I've heard of a teacher who walked into the classroom. He was all pivoted against the door and kicked the door open with because he was upside down doing a handstand. Kicked the door open, so it pivoted open, and then he flung, arriving standing up. So what's that called? A handspring?
Yeah.
Yeah, right. So there are people who need that, and that sort of teaching is something that I feel very comfortable with. Doing the step-by-step is more challenging for me, but I can move towards that if the student tells me, I don't get this, there's too much going on, and then I know I need to pull back. But I've got an arsenal. I'm focused on the student to find out what they need. I can go to the internet and say, oh, I've got just the video for you, because it lays it out perfectly. Jennifer ESL.
Yeah, I've heard of this.
A very methodical teacher. We like Jennifer ESL.